Hello guys, welcome to TPW Talking Pro Wrestling. In this video we're going, in this episode, we're going to talk about the G1 Climax, the semifinals, and we will talk about the finals, and we will do AEW Rampage predictions, and we will also be doing Impact Wrestling predictions. So starting first off, we have the the G1 Climax thing. We had our final night of the round robin portion of this tournament. It took place earlier today. Well, I guess yesterday. Well, I guess today as of this recording, but in Japan it would have been yesterday, but whatever. But one of the surprising things that happened here was that Jay White will not be in the finals here or in the semifinals. Tama Tonga got ahead. He advanced on, and Tetsuya Naito he defeated Zack Sabre Jr. To continue. Will Ospreay needed some win and get some help. He defeated Juice Robinson on the night's first match, and then clinched the group after El Phantasmo defeated Shingo Takagi to take him out of the running. So now we've got the semifinals taking place with Kazuchika Okada versus Tama Tonga, and then we have Will Ospreay versus Tetsuya Naito. This is a very interesting take on this G1 Climax tournament as well. But here's the final standings here before I make my predictions. On the A block, we have Toru Yano, who was last with 2 points. Bad Luck Fale with 4. And then we have a tie here with Tom Lawler, Jeff Cobb, and Lance Archer with 6 points. Jonah with 8 points. And then we have Kazuchika Okada with 10 points. And now for the B block, we've got a tiebreaker between 4 different men. Tomohiro Ishii, Great-O-Khan, Chase Owens, and Taichi are all tied in last place with 4 points. Sanada is up there, though, with 6 points. And Jay White and Tama Tonga both have 10 points, but because Tama Tonga defeated Jay White, he is the one who gets to go to the top. And for the B block, we have Aaron Henare, who is last with 2 points. We got a 4-way tie once again here with Evil, Kenta, Hiroki Goto, and Hiroshi Tanahashi with 6 points. Then we have yet another tying place here with Zack Sabre Jr. and Tetsuya Naito with 8 points. Tetsuya Naito defeated Zack Sabre Jr., though, and that's why he's at the top. And then finally, we have our D block. Juice Robinson was in last place with 4 points. And then we have a huge tie here with 5 different people. El Phantasmo, Yoshihashi, Yujiro Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, and David Finlay all had 6 points. And Will Ospreay was at the top with 8 points. So, how do I think this is going to work out? So, as we already know, Kazuchika Okada will be taking on Tama Tonga. I'm kind of unsure here, but I do think Okada will get the victory here and go up to the we'll move on to the finals. And then with Will Ospreay versus Tetsuya Naito. This one I really am not sure about, but I'm going to just go with a heel versus face type thing and say that Will Ospreay gets the victory against Tetsuya Naito. That way we get an Okada versus Will Ospreay matchup. I mean, I'm guessing that's probably happened before, but it would be a cool way to end the G1 Climax. If Okada and Will Ospreay are taking on each other, it would be a huge matchup that I think could be a matchup of the year for New Japan. And I'm going to go on a huge thing here and say Kazuchika Okada will win the entire New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax tournament. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching that. Coming up next, though, after this, is the AEW Rampage predictions. Hello guys, welcome back. It's now time for the AEW Rampage predictions. We've got 3 different matchups taking place here. We have the Best Friends taking on the Trustbusters as a part of the quarterfinals for the AEW World Trios Championship Tournament matchup. I think the Best Friends should get the victory here over the Trustbusters. The Trustbusters are a great faction. I really have been enjoying them. But the Best Friends, they're way too over right now. And it would not do the Best Friends or even the Trustbusters any favors in having the Trustbusters win this. But I do think it'll be a good matchup. Hopefully Parker Boudreaux still gets a chance to show his monster side. Knowing AEW, though, I'm sure we will. But I'm excited for it. I'm happy. I'm excited for this entire trios tournament thing as a whole. So there's that too. But we'll see what happens here. And we've got the FTW Championship on the line as Hook, the champion, looks to make his first title defense against Zach Clayton. I think we all know who's going to win it. It's going to be Hook, but it's still cool to see that he's got the FTW title. And we're getting we're getting our first title defense here already. It's great to see. Hopefully we see Hook defend the FTW title a little bit more often. Even if it's like opponents we know is going to win. I mean, the opponents we know is going to lose, my bad. Because that'll get the FTW championship to be looked at as a better championship title for me. But I think Hook is going to retain against Zach Clayton. I think it's a no-brainer, but what do you guys think? And then we have the AEW World Tag Team Championships on the line as Private Party looks to take on Swerve in Our Glory. Swerve and Our Glory are definitely going to retain their titles. The Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, they have to defend their titles until at least All Out, whether that be they lose or they win at All Out. They need to have their titles at least until All Out. And honestly, I think FTR should take on Swerve in Our Glory. But then again, why would a babyface team go after a babyface team in such an underwhelming blowout for FTR? Swerve in Our Glory should, in my opinion, either they should hold off till All Out, but hold out on FTR, which is not a good idea, or Swerve in Our Glory should lose to a formidable heel tag team, and then FTR wins that to get less of a blowout. But that's just my suggestion here, I guess. But Impact Wrestling predictions is coming up next after this. Hello guys, welcome back, and now it's time for the Impact Wrestling predictions. Emergence ended, and now they're on the road to Victory Road and Bound for Glory. So, here's what's going to happen here. We've got X Division action from the get-go. We've got Fatal 4-Way X Division action. Black Taurus, Laredo Kid, Ray Horus, and Trey Miguel will all be a part of this Fatal 4-Way. Don't blink or you might miss something in this 4-way free-for-all between Black Taurus, Laredo Kid, Ray Horus, and Trey Miguel. With Impact Wrestling's biggest event of the year sitting just 7 weeks away, there's nothing these high-flying athletes won't do in an attempt to secure their spot on the show of shows. As Horus looks to bounce back from a hard-fought loss to Bandito at Emergence, Black Taurus, Laredo Kid, and Trey Miguel will renew hostilities from this week's digital media match, which saw Kid and Miguel defeat Decay in tag team competition. So, I don't necessarily think Ray Horus is going to win this matchup, but I do think it's going to be a good matchup. Ray Horus and Bandito, like I've said, they were great additions to the Impact Wrestling brand. Impact should continue adding more wrestlers onto their product because Impact needs it so badly. They need those top stars like Bandito, and they need top stars like Ray Horus. The X Division is doing great, though. I mean, I don't really think the X Division needs Ray Horus or Bandito, but they could use it. Hey, the X Division is doing great, and I think this Fatal 4-Way would be could be a great way to open up the show too. I do think this could be a great opening to the show, but we'll see what happens here. My prediction here is that Black Taurus wins this matchup. I I think Black Taurus desperately needs a victory here, but we'll see what happens. Mike Bailey will defend his Impact X Division Championship against Chris Bay as well. So we've got more X Division action coming up here. Mike Bailey has defined the term fighting champion in his reign as X Division champion, which he won in an Ultimate X match at Slammiversary. Last week, Bailey had 2 successful title defenses in the span of 24 hours, one against New Japan Pro Wrestling's veteran Rocky Romero, and another against the returning Jack Evans at Emergence. Now Bailey turns his attention towards the former X Division champion and Bullet Club's own Chris Bay as the two face off in a title clash this Thursday. This one it seems Mike Bailey will retain the Impact X Division title. I do hope Chris Bay gets a chance to shine in this matchup, though. And then we have Kenny King finally taking on Heath. Heath finally getting some action here. He hasn't really been doing a whole lot action in-ring wise. He's been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes from attacks from behind, but it's great to see that he's finally getting a matchup. For weeks, Heath has been a thorn in the side of Honor No More, delivering hit-and-run attacks that have thwarted the plans of the group led by Eddie Edwards. This past Friday at Emergence, Kenny King set a trap to take out Heath once and for all, but a distraction from the brawl between Sami Callihan and Steve Macklin allowed Heath to give him the wake-up call once again. Later in the night, Honor No More's luck turned around when they defeated the Bullet Club, allowing them to remain and granting them a future Impact World Tag Team title opportunity with revenge on the minds of both competitors. King goes one-on-one with Heath this Thursday, and there's no holding back. One thing, Kenny King loses to Heath. There's no way Kenny King's winning this. And then we have a 6-way elimination match. On here, it has been said it looks like there won't be knockouts action, but there isn't a whole lot of matchups for Impact Wrestling either. So I'm not entirely sure. I think they may add like 1 or 2 knockouts matches as well. And of course, there will be some segments for the knockouts as well, whether that be like an interview or a promo or whatever. But we got a 6-way elimination number 1 contenders match between Eddie Edwards, Steve Macklin, Moose, Sami Callihan, Bandito, and Rich Swann. All these 6 men are going to take on each other. On October 7th in Albany, New York, Impact Wrestling will present its biggest pay-per-view event of the year, Bound for Glory. But who will challenge for the Impact World Championship on this night where legends are made? We'll find out this Thursday as 6 of professional wrestling's top stars collide in a 6-way elimination number 1 contenders matchup. That being Eddie Edwards, Steve Macklin, Moose, Sami Callihan, Bandito, and Rich Swann on a collision course, and only one can main event for Bound for Glory. Now this seems to be a very interesting matchup, as really anybody in this matchup could become the number 1 contender and face Josh Alexander, and I'd be like, this is going to be great. I don't think Bandito or Rich Swann is going to win this, so let's eliminate those 2 from the entire thing. Eddie Edwards currently has a rivalry with Bullet Club, but it would be cool to see him get a chance, but let's eliminate him out as well. So now we've got Steve Macklin, Moose, and Sami Callihan. I don't think Steve Macklin is ready for an opportunity for the Impact World title yet, so let's eliminate him as well. Moose and Sami Callihan have been in a huge rivalry, so it's only opportunistic for both of these two to collide in this six-way as a part of the six-way as well. Moose has become X Division champion before. Not X Division. Why do I keep saying X Division? He's been the Impact World Champion in the past. But I do think a rematch with Josh Alexander would work out. But since he's been the World Champion before, let's eliminate him. And let's say Sami Callihan wins this entire thing and takes on Josh Alexander at Bound for Glory. That's honestly what I think is going to happen. I honestly think that Sami Callihan is going to win this entire thing and get a shot for the Impact World Championship at Bound for Glory. But thank you all for watching. This is TPW Talking Pro Wrestling. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Good night, everybody.